Craghead, a small mining village between Newcastle and Durham, with a population of 4,000, faces a year of uncertainty. Against the overwhelming competition of oil, North Sea gas, and nuclear energy, can Craghead Colliery and its dependent community survive? Pit manager is John Hughes.
Craghead has been here as a mining community for well over 100 years. Its present size was probably determined at the time of the Boer War, as the names of many of the streets bear evidence to this. Apart from some council houses, there has been no development or building of any size since then. I've been here as a manager for the past 5 years, and in that time we've rationalised the pit. There were over 1,400 men when I came here, and we now have a little over 800 men. The output has been kept more or less the same, and since we face the exhaustion of our thicker steam in the very near future, we will be meeting some difficulties. And we're hoping that as we're making a small profit at the moment, we can continue to do this and continue to remain in an economic position. The miners in Craghead have lived here for 2 or 3 generations. Their fathers have followed sons into the pit. They are probably therefore amongst the most loyal. They have a very strong sense of loyalty, and we like to think, in fact we're sure, that these are some of the best type of workmen in any industry, and certainly the best in the coal board.
My name is George Ord, better known as Geordie Ord. I'm 58 years of age. I was born at Craghead. I worked on the ground all my life at Craghead, and I've got a daughter and a son called Brian, and he's also working on the ground.
All right, sir. I followed my father into the pit 12 years ago, and I've been there ever since. The reason I went into the pit was because all my friends was working there, and there was more or less nothing else to do. I like the job I've got, like. I wouldn't like to part with it, you know. Quite content where I'm at there now.
My name is George Hancock. I started work underground when I was 14 and 3 days old. There wasn't much choice in them days, not with a family of 15 and only my father working. I went to London during the war, came to Craghead in 1945, and I've been here ever since.
If this pit was to close out, I'll accept my redundancy tomorrow. Nearly 44 years down the pit, you know what I mean? It's a fair good length of time. I haven't got the figures, but I know the people in Craghead. I would think about 2 or 3 years after they're finished, that is retired at 65. 9 out of every 10 dies. The simple reason is the engine's finished. They've worked that hard all their lives. See what I mean? I contend the retiring age should be 55. And that's honest. I definitely tried to persuade Brian not to go down the pit. I advised him for to go to a factory, or in fact I got him enticed for to go to night schools for to learn a trade, but no, he would go down the pit. He wanted money.
Well, I don't quite agree with my father as far as working underground is concerned. He doesn't seem to think it's a life for anybody, but I mean, he's worked down there all his life, and I mean, if that was his attitude, he should have gotten out the pits long ago. My wife, Pamela, and I have been married 4.5 years. And my daughter, Susan, she's 2.5-year-old, and we're expecting the second child just the turn of the year, about January or February. The wife, she wants us out the pits. She'll be prepared for it to make ends meet with less money and all, I think. If the worst does come to the worst, and we are finished at the colliery, I don't think I'll consider going to another mining area.
I like to go walking with the dog because it is really a relief after being down the pit all day. I've never been really a club man. I like to be a freelance. And as my father always said, when you've got a shilling in your pocket, you can please yourself where you go and how you spend it. Well, if Craghead Colliery were to close, I suppose the village would just automatically die out. Couldn't do otherwise, because we've got premises now that's closed, and other people's selling the business, so they're getting out, they know. The way things are, I can't see Craghead staying open more than a couple of years at most.
8 a.m., Saturday, July the 20th, 1968. Work stops as Craghead prepares to follow its band and banner to the big meeting, the 85th Annual Durham Miners Gala. This year, the burning issue is Seaton Carew, a proposed power station for the Durham coast. If fired by coal, it should provide 10,000 miners with jobs for 25 years. If, however, nuclear power is to supply the fuel, then the future of the entire Durham coalfield will be threatened. The miners' union leader is Alf Hessler.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year, when I was standing on this platform, I was speaking of the Seaton Carew power station. Now, this is of vital importance to the Durham miner, because if the government decide to coal-fire this power station, then this would give us the relief we are looking for and give us some breathing space. I wonder if I could pose two questions to our friends on the platform, the Labour government. The first question is this: is there going to be a power station? And the second question is it going to be coal-fired?
I am deeply conscious of the tribute that you have paid in allowing me to be here this morning on Platform 1. You are not the ones who theorize about the need for change in Britain. You are the ones who have to experience it. Because, comrades, Britain must adapt herself. In the age of industrial change, yes, we've had to ask you to do it in the mining industry. By definition, the Labour Party is the party of fundamental change. And therefore, by definition, the task of a Labour government will always be more difficult than that of a Tory one.
Mr. Chairman, in view of the weather, I'll keep my customary benediction very short indeed. You referred a year ago to Seaton Carew. I don't want to raise any hopes about it, but it is not yet possible to take a decision. I repeat what I said last year: when that decision is taken, it will be taken at the highest level on technical factors, economic factors, and social factors, all brought into consideration.
A colliery can go on or a colliery can close at any time, just when you're least expecting it. That's what has been happening.
Myself, I can't see it going no 5 or 6 years.
I'll give it 2 years at the most.
No future at all here. I think by about 1970, I think all the pits around this area will be finished.
Well, the present government's fuel policies undoubtedly, I think, hasten the closure of some pits. The pessimistic outlook taken by government circles as to the role of coal in the future, we think in the industry, is quite unwarranted. Undoubtedly, I suppose, in the very long term, nuclear power will inevitably form the base load. But it's quite feasible that the coal industry will outlive both the gas and oil industries, because the known world resources of coal are greater than the known resources of oil and gas. We had a special consultative meeting just before Christmas when the area director came out and told everybody how well it had done. And we've recently broken all productivity records, I should think, in the pit's history. So that morale at the moment is standing very well indeed. And this is a good thing when we are about to face problems with the reduction in seams from 3 to 2 and slightly adverse working conditions. So I think with this type of feeling, if we can only keep the tempo up and keep going and get over these next 2 or 3 difficult months, I think that should set us in a good position to face the next 12 months and 18 months anyway.
The holiday starts next year on August the 4th till August the 17th, so naturally the pit will be open then.
Well, I hope Craghead's going to stay open.
Brian,
The government says that the pit's got to close in 3 months' time. It'll close. It doesn't matter even what the manager says.
It's what we have to all rely on, and especially